From Connecticut's news leader, NBC Connecticut News, starts now.
Welcome back. The time now is 7:49. Now, there was good news late this week that Connecticut's unemployment rate, it's dropped below 9% for the first time in nearly 2 years. But work is still hard to come by. Joining us this morning is Connecticut resident, author, and international career expert, Stacie Berdan. Stacie, good morning, and thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me.
Now, you say you really need to think about working abroad. Why do you say that?
Well, globalization is here, and organizations are expanding, continuing to expand around the world, and they need workers who can work cross-culturally. And so with the unemployment low here, high here, 9%, it's low in many other countries. Places like China, India, Brazil have rapid growth rates, and actually there are jobs there, and people who can prove that they can work internationally, actually there's an opportunity for jobs.
And what types of jobs should Americans consider overseas? What jobs are available?
Well, the world's a very big place, and there are all kinds of jobs, and this is important to note that it's not just the private sector. The federal government has talked about it, NGOs, not-for-profits, and corporations. So some of the big industries, of course, are telecommunications, energy, finance, and those are the kinds of opportunities that are available out there right now.
It may seem like a daunting prospect for someone who's unemployed to think about working overseas. What's the first step they should take?
Well, there are a couple of things. One is to think globally, and this begins as early as actually high school and college kids should start preparing now for the global marketplace, and that means pursuing foreign language, studying abroad, exchange abroad, expanding your worldview. That's the first thing, thinking globally. The second is actually to build your international toolkit. So as you approach these jobs, it's not just the professional skills that these employers want. They want to know the soft skills, the personal skills, flexibility, adaptability, great communication skills, team building skills. These are all things that are really important in these jobs. And so as then when you go to look and you do your research, it's critical. It's a dynamic, changing marketplace. And so you really have to do your research. Great job sites now, Simply Hired, Ladders, and Going Global have dedicated international job sites.
Now, it might be easier to work for an American company that's overseas, but for other companies, do you need a visa? Is that something you need to consider? Because it might be difficult to actually legally work overseas.
Absolutely. So if you're being transferred by a company, many times companies take care of the visa issues, and you're right, it can be complicated. If you're going to go and move yourself, I recommend that you make sure that you find out what those laws are, because you really do need to understand the labor laws and follow the rules when you're working abroad.
Working abroad is certainly a big decision to make. You'll be so far away from family and from friends. What are the pros and cons to working outside the country?
Well, it's a fabulous experience. You can fast-track your career, increase your compensation, and just be on the cutting edge of a fabulous career. Those are some of the pros, and so many others. You can have lots of fun. The cons, it's lonely. You miss a lot of things. You can get homesick, and it's tough and challenging to work cross-culturally every day because you are the one who's different.
As someone who's worked abroad yourself, what would you say was the biggest challenge for you?
A lot of times it was language. You know, I do not speak another language, and I encourage people right now to actually learn a foreign language, especially as early as, elementary school. People should be encouraging.
You mentioned to me that your kids are learning foreign languages.
Yes, they are.
While they're younger.
Absolutely. We live in Glastonbury. It's an excellent school district for foreign language, a history of more than 50 years of actually foreign language instruction. Mine are in Spanish right now. I've encouraged them to go to Chinese language camp in the summer and take on a third or a fourth language. So they graduate bilingual, a critical differentiator for American kids in the future, because only 9% of Americans are bilingual.
It certainly will set them apart. All right, and for people considering this type of work, you also have a book called Go Global, Launching an International Career Here or Abroad.
Yes.
Stacie, thanks for being here this morning. Really interesting topic. I appreciate you being here.
Thanks so much.
And stay with us. We are coming right back.